Coming up on today's show, we're going to do some rapid fire about our favorite things at Walt Disney World. That is coming up today on Traveling with the Mouse. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 422 of Traveling with the Mouse. My name is Adam. I'm joined today by John.
Yes, we only have high-class stuff on this show, folks.
Indeed.
High class.
Yeah. So we will have to wait one more week for Jason's trip report, at least. And I'll have, hopefully, a trip report coming up, too. So we have a couple of those to look forward to.
And I will not.
Yeah. But there's not a lot of news, so we gotta, talk about other stuff.
Yeah.
And stuff, too.
We have plenty of things we can talk about.
Our favorite things. So today's episode is somewhat unique and calls for a different kind of introduction. We're going to do a rapid fire.
I was about to say, I don't see a maintenance service elevator.
Yeah. This, as you may recognize, is a
poster of the People Mover from
Disneyland. Which is a defunct attraction.
Only if that is high on my list of attractions that I wish I could have done.
The People Mover at Disneyland, yeah.
Yes,
totally.
That is high on my list. Oh yeah, that actually brings up. What would you say is what's your most either missed or wished you could do you never got to do? That would be on the list, obviously.
Most missed.
Or maybe an attraction that you never got to do because it was gone before you got a chance to do it.
I'll tell you one that comes to mind that I did, but I don't really remember that well, is the 20,000 Leagues.
Right.
Because I did the Nemo submarines at Disneyland, and I'm like, wow, this would be way better if it was 20,000 Leagues.
That's because you hate Nemo.
Well,
you have a hatred for Nemo.
I have a hatred for getting stuck on Nemo and Friends at Epcot.
Right. Well, I mean, it's Nemo, and his name was Captain Nemo.
Yeah.
Was there a coincidence there that they did
Perhaps
that?
Finding Captain Nemo. But that's one that came to mind for as far as Disney World goes that I would love to do. Of course, there's Horizons, World of Motion. I would love to do those again.
Yeah, those are ones that we love that are gone. But I'm thinking more along the lines of ones you never got to do.
Yeah.
Before they changed something.
I'll tell you another one too that along the same lines, and I'm sure I've done it, but I can't really remember much personally about it. So the Sky Buckets, another one.
Okay.
I'd love to do that one more time. That would be cool to, because I can't really remember much about it.
I did it not too long before it was gone.
Yeah, you almost broke it.
Yeah, something like that.
When you and your dad and your brother
and James. Yeah, we were pushing the limit as far as what it said the recommended weight limit was.
Right. Yeah. 3 big dudes. First of all, I don't recall them being that big. I'm sure they're bigger than a teacup, but
the buckets, I mean, it was big. I mean, we weren't
it's not as Skyliner big, obviously.
No, not Skyliner. I mean, we weren't like squished together or anything. We might have been touching knees, kind of like you're in the teacup or whatever.
Speaking of, now you got me on this train now of all the stuff that I have seen pictures or video of, but don't really remember personally.
Yeah, probably a lot of old Disneyland.
That too, but I was going to say, since we're at Disney World, talking the Mark IV monorails.
Yeah, but you've been on those. You just don't remember them.
Yeah, I don't. The old brown seats and stuff and the slamming the doors. I don't remember any of that. Please
I remember it.
Let them open the doors,
That was pretty funny. What was funny about those was because the monorails, like they would release and open, that would pretty much open themselves, right? But it had to be, everyone had to be manually shut. Like somebody would walk down the line and close each one.
So it would release the lock on them, but you would have to physically open the door yourself to get out if you were getting out? Or would they come by and open them?
It seems like they opened.
Oh, they opened.
Like they just opened, like they just swung open, like something about the mechanism, like when it unlocked, it just opened.
Interesting.
Like swung open or something.
But I do remember seeing video of them slamming each door, like going down the line and just slamming the door shut.
Yeah.
But I don't remember
that was something they used to have to do.
I was too young for that.
Yeah. And the interior looked like something you would think was out of the 70s.
Right. I remember seeing pictures of a brown interior. I'm like,
I don't think they even changed it the entire time from 1971 up until they started introducing
the late 80s. Well, they barely changed the ones they have since 1989. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, they have the same trains. They've just basically redone the inside, right? So,
yeah,
they've actually redone the inside twice because they didn't used to have with those they used to have seats in the middle, like more seats in the middle.
It had like a
bit of the
handrail thing in full seats in the middle. I do remember that.
Yeah. And then they just totally took it out, I guess, to make more room for disability and so on.
And wheelchairs.
Yeah, and strollers. Made it a little more convenient for that. But yeah, there used to be like a almost like a middle piece you could sit on with the rail.
That. One of those. I'm trying to think of something at Disneyland I wish I could have experienced.
Well, I was thinking what would have been cool would have been able to see the Golden Horseshoe back in the day when they had the shows with Wally Bogue and those, like I've seen on the, like, because I always found as a kid when we watched that special that they had that showed the Golden Horseshoe, that show on there, I always thought that was entertaining. It was funny the way they did that when he was Pecos Bill and all that good stuff. And the fight scene and the dummy that got knocked all the way up to the top of the stage. Stuff like that. I mean, all this stuff was fun to me. That's something I would have liked to have seen. I'm trying to think of things that they changed that maybe I didn't see before it. I probably got to see it, but don't remember. It was probably the Mickey Mouse review.
Oh, yeah.
Probably got to see that, but I just don't remember it at all because I would have been very young. I can't remember if I remember hearing the song, of course, on the official Epcot album. I can't remember if I actually watched Magic Journeys or not. I don't seem to recall watching.
I always remember hearing the soundtrack, but that was I don't remember.
Well, you know, it was actually in the theater. I forgot which came first, whether it was in the Epcot theater first or whether it was in the Magic Kingdom theater first.
Which is where
it was one and it moved to the other.
Right? Or no,
not the left floor where
Philhar
Magic is. Yes.
Yeah. That's right. That was after Mickey Mouse review.
Yes. I can't remember how long that was there.
Early 80s, right?
Yeah. But it switched to Epcot to the Magic Eye Theater or something like that. Or maybe it was the other way around. Because I know Captain EO came to Epcot fairly early. It was Captain EO came to Epcot in like 1986. Which that was one that I got to see originally, and then I got to see it again and kind of have the nostalgia when they brought it back after Michael Jackson died. You remember that?
Oh, yeah, right.
Did you get to see it the second time?
I didn't see it the second time, but I remember being at Disneyland when it was back. I just didn't see it.
You just didn't go see it? You should have.
Go see it. Yeah, I should have.
That's too bad.
That's just one I should have gone to see.
Just the fact that it was a classic that actually returned was pretty cool. It was like stepping in a time capsule.
Speaking of, I'm hoping I'll get to do soaring over California. I don't know how long it's going to stay at Epcot, but...
So when are you going to be there?
Next week, or this week as you're listening to it.
Mm-hmm. I think James they're talking about potentially going back during Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Well, they have the pass, right? So
yeah, he's trying to make the most out of it because I don't think they're going to renew when it comes to either.
Yeah,
but it's a big. Of course, theirs comes due in like May or something. I can't remember what it was.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you definitely feel like you have to get the most out of it to make it worth it.
Yeah, I know. That's the other thing about it, though. It almost feels like there's too much pressure. you know.
It can be.
Well, I'll just mention it because I talked to you about it a little earlier. I had actually looked at a couple of posts on social media, and I know that that's a small sample of the overall people that actually buy them, but the consensus amongst the people commenting were the cost and just the fact that they wanted to do something other than Disney as well, right?
Yeah.
Or someone mentioned about going once a year and it's not worth it for that,
Right.
I can kind of see that. Just, it makes me wonder if that's really the mindset of the people who have bought some, because it's similar to my mindset as to why I let mine lapse instead of keeping it.
Yeah.
After the year.
You do have to go at least like 3 times a year.
Right. Or you don't feel like you're getting...
Yeah. Or you're leaving money on the table.
It also depends on where it is you stay to whether or not you break even.
Right.
Because if you stay at the more expensive...
Right.
And you get the bigger the discount, right?
Yeah. Because I'll be at All-Stars this week, so keeping it low.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Which All-Star?
Music. That's my preference.
Music is your preference?
I prefer over movies and definitely sports.
Have you been to all 3?
I've done movies and music. I will not do sports until they redo those rooms.
I thought they had redone them. They haven't?
If you look online, the pictures are still like carpet floors and the ugly beds and everything. So I don't know why they haven't redone those yet.
Okay.
But until it's always the cheapest too, which is why.
Well, sports is also the notoriously lowest rated usually of all the Walt Disney World hotels.
That too.
But I think it's still fine.
I've had good experiences at music though. Music was my favorite by far.
See, I would like
but
to
movies was not bad.
I think I would like to stay in either the Toy Story or Love Bug sections of movies, just because of the theming. I think it'd be.
Yeah.
I think Love Bug's pretty cool. Just the fact that it's still there. I'm surprised they haven't changed it because not too many people remember Herbie at this point.
Very few people.
Well, I think at that time it had not been too long since they did the whole Lohan movie. Whenever they did that one, whenever they built the new movies.
Herbie.
Yeah, which was I don't even think I've ever seen that.
Last time I stayed at movies, I was in the Herbie section. That's right. It's just like the farthest back you can get of any resort ever is the back section of movies. Yeah.
Like I said, that's why I said I like the theme though. But that's
the movies is so far from anything.
The closest is like Fantasia, right?
Of the movies section, yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that's like the.
There's always one that's more centralized. Like the 60s is the central buildings at Pop.
Pop, yeah.
And of course, Nemo is the central at Art of Animation.
Yep.
They all have the same styles. The reason why I'm using those.
Yep.
Is it Calypso that's the center of music? Which one's the center of music?
Okay. That's the preferred, which both times I've done music, I've actually stayed preferred, and it's been by the Calypso pool, which is actually really ideal for me. I like that because you're right near the main building and all that.
Right. Well, that's one of the things that was great about 60s in Pop.
Yeah, agreed. The only downside is the parking is not, you kind of have to walk through the main building to get to the parking. But
well, the only time that I stayed in the 60s at Pop, we flew. So
right.
It didn't matter.
Yeah.
we also took the Magical Express, which didn't also another thing it didn't matter.
Yeah.
So
doesn't exist anymore.
Nope, doesn't exist anymore. I remember James was kind of concerned about the whole thing about dropping his luggage off and not seeing it again until the room.
Oh.
He's like, that luggage better be there.
Right.
And then of course when we spent wherever it was that day, and we went into our room and we practically tripped over the luggage because it was Pop Centuries.
Right.
They literally set it right inside the door.
Right. And the room is small too. Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't go far into the hotel at all.
Little Dick Van Dyke Show entrance.
Just about. I could have done that easily.
Yeah. I mean, those old rooms, too, without the fold-down bed, it's like you open the door and you hit the bed anyway. It's about...
Yeah.
It's
The
kinda
only
how it
time I
goes.
stayed in the new configuration, I was in the 70s, which was still pretty good.
Yeah, I like 70s. I think I've stayed 60s. I've not done 50s or... Is that as far back as that one goes? I've never stayed in 50s.
Yeah, 50s is on the opposite side.
Yeah. I've always been 90s or the 70s, 80s, or the 60s.
The 90s is like the worst place you could be, right?
Yes, the 90s is... And that's... Anytime I got a standard room, it's always 90s.
Well, they're going
Which
to
is as far away as you can get.
I mean, they could update it to the 2000s now, right? I mean, they could update it to the 2010s if they wanted to.
What would they convert to the 2010s, the 50s?
I have no idea.
Because nobody cares about the 50s anymore.
Huh?
Nobody remembers them.
Nobody remembers the 50s? Well, I mean, people who are turning 70 were born in the 50s. So
the grandparents, but they're not going to be staying at the Pop Century.
Are you just assuming? Are you just assuming that people in their 70s have plenty of money? Is that what it is?
No, I'm just but I mean, they're not going to. I guess if you got more than one room, I'm just thinking if the grandparents are coming along, you would be in like a what do you call it, a family suite at the Art of Animation or something.
Yeah,
if you're doing value.
All right. So,
or All-Star Music. Anyway.
So today we kind of have a topic. If you want to take it away, and
yeah.
So something we discussed just before the show, actually.
Yeah, because there's not a ton of news.
We spent a lot of time preparing for the show, as you can tell.
Right. We're like 20 minutes in, and we're barely talked about anything. But yeah, since we don't have a trip report this week, and there's not really a lot of news to talk about other than early 2024 discounts or
the usual stuff that's been going on.
Right. Journey of Water is going to close when it rains or when there's inclement weather.
Yeah, that's kind of like, well, that thing's going to be closed a lot.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. Test Track and Journey of Water going to be closed all the time.
Yeah. Pretty much.
But anyway. Other than that, Soarin' Over California is like the most popular thing at Epcot currently.
Yeah, how did that affect the wait times? I hadn't even looked. Did you?
When I looked the other day, I looked at midday, and it was like 75-minute wait for that, and it was higher than Test Track. And of course, Guardians is still boarding group only. So I think Test Track was like 50 or 45 minutes, and Soarin' was 75.
Really?
So, and I think Ratatouille was only like 45 minutes or something like that too. That was midweek. So I don't know.
Ratatouille is good. I'm kind of surprised that the wait hasn't died down a little more than it has, truthfully, but I guess it takes some time.
I guess so. Or it does kind of break down fairly often too, from what I've seen, but that could be part of it.
I was actually just thinking about the Moana, the Journey of Water thing. I was like, so we're saying that every day from about 3 to 3:30, it's going to experience downtime.
Yeah.
Somewhere in that range.
Probably.
Or at least 3 to 3:15.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So our topic, though, to get back on topic, is we're basically rapidly firing questions.
Rapidly firing.
We'll call it rapid fire. But we're just going to like spit out stuff.
Just going to get on the mic and spit it.
Is that a Aerosmith thing that I didn't realize?
No.
Spit vapors.
I think that was actually from an Eminem song.
There's vomit on my sweater already. My spaghetti.
Yeah. I forgot which song it is.
I don't remember. But of course I had AI write some, so we'll throw these in as well.
Oh,
brother. So the first one, let's just spitball here.
Let's do it.
Best ride at Magic Kingdom, go.
Well, it's changed for me over the years, but Right now it's
Currently.
Haunted Mansion.
Big Thunder is what I would say is my current favorite.
So we give like a runner-up or anything?
If you gave me a lightning lane for Tron, I would say Tron would
is
be
definitely
a second favorite. Yeah.
Up there. We're just saying Walt Disney World, right?
Magic Kingdom specifically.
Oh, Magic Kingdom specifically. I would probably put Thunder in there. In no particular order, I think I would probably do, if I were going to do like a top three, it'd be Magic, Thunder, and I would throw Tron in at the moment.
Yeah. Those are three I would probably go with.
I mean, if I have must-dos when I go in the park,
yeah,
they're going to be on the list. I mean, there's certain attractions that you just... I feel like the last few times I've been going, it's like Jungle Cruise was a must-do.
Yeah, I do like Jungle Cruise.
Yeah.
A lot of people feel that way because it's still a sought-after lightning lane.
It's funny.
So, staying in Magic Kingdom, think if you are dropped in Magic Kingdom right now and you're hungry,
Whoa.
Where would you go? What would be...
Are we going quick service?
Go to wherever. If you were just dropped into Magic Kingdom right now and you were starving, what would you go eat?
For whatever reason, the one that's on my mind right now is Liberty Tree.
Well, yeah, if you were really hungry.
I mean, it's good food. I mean, it's basically Thanksgiving comfort type food, but it's good food. It's good quality. It's one of my favorites.
Skipper Canteen was the first thing that came to my mind. But I would also...
My experience at I've only been there once so far, but my experience at Skipper Canteen was they were out of stuff the time that I went. Yeah. And that was in January of 22.
Oh.
So,
yeah. But if I was really hungry...
I'd want to get some
Liberty
quick,
Tree. Right? Yeah, the food would come out faster. But I would probably go with Golden Horseshoe.
Really? Well, I mean, it's the same food, right?
Yeah.
Just different setting and called something
I like
different.
that setting better than Liberty Tree.
Like what it is called the Patriots Platter at Liberty Tree. And at Golden Horseshoe, it's... What's it called there? Saloon or something. Something Saloon.
Something.
Slick
Saloon. What they call the platter.
But if you're wanting to get something quick, what would be your quick option?
Well, if you drop me in the hub, I'd probably go try and get a spring roll first. That'd be my instinct. Go get the pizza spring roll or something.
See, my first instinct is Casey's. I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, it's good hot dogs. I don't know. It's not my thing.
It's not your go-to.
It wouldn't be my go-to. But to get something quick, I would either do that or I would go to Columbia Harbor House.
Yeah, Columbia Harbor House is high on my list of quick service.
Get fried. I like that combo with the chicken and shrimp.
Mm-hmm. One thing about Harbor House is even if it looks busy, a lot of people forget about the upstairs, so you can always go up there.
Yeah, I've sat up there many a time. It's cool looking out that window too at Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
Anywho,
it's one of the few, it's probably the only quick service over there that has it upstairs.
I think there's a bathroom upstairs too, isn't there? I feel like I've been to that one. I can't remember.
There's no bathroom in Liberty Square, right? Except for, is there one in the restaurant?
Yeah, I guess there is one in the restaurant. It might be downstairs.
There's one in Liberty Tree, but you have to go up these stairs that are super narrow. It seems like. You ever been to the bathroom in there?
At Liberty Tree, I probably have, but I can't recall.
It's you can tell that it was built. It feels like some of the places in Disneyland. You can tell that it was built a long time ago because everything is it's made for 120-pound man to walk up or what?
Right.
So
really true to the theme and time period.
Right. So,
well, at least it's not like an outhouse.
Right, exactly.
That'd be bad. All right, here's another rapid fire. A snack you must have every time you visit Epcot.
A snack I must have every time I visit?
So, I guess this wouldn't include festivals because it would change every time.
Yeah.
Depending on the time of year. So, something I would want to
be honest, I can't think of one consistent snack.
Yeah. It's usually a festival type food. But that would vary through the time of year. So
I can't think of one thing that I just get consistently as a snack.
the guac and queso at La Cava. That'd be like,
That's your snack.
I get that every time I'm at Epcot these days. So,
If I have to stop at one of those stands, one of the things I frequent is getting one of the ice cream bars. One of the ones I liked, I don't even know if it's still there now, was the Olaf one. It was like a lemon strawberry
my kids like the Olaf one. Yeah.
So I'm
Does
thinking
it have
of that.
the gumball eyes and stuff too, or something?
No, it's just a bar.
I thought that it was one that had like the.
It doesn't look like Olaf. It's just named after Olaf.
Oh.
It's red and yellow.
Oh, okay.
It's like strawberry lemonade or something like that.
Got it.
But it's a good combo. It's a good mixture. Tastes good. Yeah, I'm just at a loss because I can't think of one that's consistent that they get at Epcot, truthfully.
Yes. Guac and queso at La Cava. That'd be my. It's not like you can just walk in and order that though. It's not like quick service, but whatever.
Like going around Epcot, of course, what are the odds you're going to be there when there's not some kind of a festival going on? So
right, but it would be different every time.
Yeah,
depends on the festival. But there's some that like Japan. I tend to visit very frequently. Like no matter what the festival is, I'll usually get something from Japan.
I just thought of an interesting one for later.
Bring them now if you want.
Well, if you were going to say, now we haven't tried all of them, but what would you say is best barbecue? Because they have several barbecue places now.
I would still say Regal Eagle currently.
See, that would be what I would lean towards too.
Yeah. Because
Flame Tree would be good as well.
Yeah. I've only had like a few things from Flame Tree. I've had way more from Regal Eagle.
Yeah.
And I think Woody's it's overpriced and too much food. Like the family style thing is just, I can't do it anymore.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of all the barbecue places.
Yeah. Can't do it anymore.
I'm trying to think of all the barbecue places that there is. So we know we have Flame Tree at Animal Kingdom. That's the only one at Animal Kingdom, right? Woody's is the one at Studios.
I mean, it's not considered barbecue, but the pulled pork nachos at Captain Cook's is like, I love that so much.
Yeah, that's not barbecue.
I know, but it's still pulled pork. But
and all the places we're thinking of are usually quick. Is that Woody's is sit down, isn't it? So, gosh, where else is there barbecue? I thought there was more than that.
It's not barbecue, but the roast beef. Oh, so good. The pot roast, I should say. That's probably what it's called. Oh man, it's amazing.
But it's the same menu. It's the same menu as Liberty Tree, right?
Yeah, but it's
same.
the same platter. But oh man, that pot roast is phenomenal.
Including what's the dessert called?
Bread pudding there or no? No, that's so Hana I'm thinking of, right?
I want to say it's like a gooey something, but I can't
remember. Gooey butter cake or something? I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember it too. But I think it's the same as well. What's this, just depends on which setting you want to be in, right?
Yeah. Which I like Diamond Horseshoe.
I just wish it had a full-on show again.
Ooey gooey toffee cake.
I knew it was something like that.
Yeah. This is keeping it at Epcot here. Favorite World Showcase Pavilion for dining. So if I was going to eat a meal, France comes to mind. Because you got several options.
Gosh, they're pretty much all of them are good. Just which ones? I think it comes down to a matter of taste and preference, really. If I'm thinking sit down, of course, Le Cellier is a good option.
Italy's a good option.
Rose and Crown's a good option.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Fish and chips. It's hard to beat those.
Yeah.
It's good. Some bangers and mash.
Anything Italian.
Yeah. Yeah, Italy's a good place. Anything that has more than one restaurant.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
It kind of depends on what you're breaking down, really. One of my favorite places to go as of recent is the quick service in Mexico.
Yeah.
La Cantina.
Mm-hmm.
The quality, I mean, just the quality that we got the last couple of times is just really good.
Yeah. Not bad
on my list. And we got free churros at the end of the night because they were closing.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that was a good tip. Is like hang around some quick services at the end of the night, see if they'll give you anything.
Yeah, because you remember on my trip, we were doing the Epcot after hours, right? And we just happened to be in Mexico at closing, and we got in there just in time. And we're also watching Epcot Forever from there. So we were still eating, and they were like, "Hey, you want these? These are left
Heck yeah,
over." You
man.
want these? I was like, "All right, bring
Heck
them
yeah,
on."
dude. Yeah, it is.
Heck
I
up.
mean, Mexico's got good food. Although, maybe I should give San Angel in another try because last time it wasn't great. It's like overpriced for what you get, and it was just kind of mediocre. But the setting is amazing.
I've not even eaten at San Angel. I know it traditionally gets bad.
It's been like
review.
9 years since I ate at San
Yeah.
Angel, but yeah, it's consistently poorly
However,
rated.
I did eat at La Hacienda, and I thought that was good.
Yeah, that one's actually pretty good. I've eaten there since. That was a few years
That's a
ago.
long time ago when I ate there, though.
I liked it though. It was better than San Angel.
Well, it's more traditional in La Hacienda, I think.
Yeah.
More traditional Mexican cuisine.
Dole Whip or Mickey ice cream bar?
Between the two, Dole Whip.
Yeah, I would take Dole Whip too. Mickey ice cream bars fall apart too easily, and they melt too fast.
Even though I think Dole Whips are overrated, they're still good. They're still high on my list.
Yeah, I love a good swirl too. The vanilla with the
You love a good
pineapple swirl. Heck yeah, man. I had a side note. I had a swirl from Racetrack tonight. It was the Swirl World they have. Their butter pecan and chocolate. Oh, really good. Anyway,
Okay.
it's froyo. But yeah, Dole Whip all the way on that one. I love a good Dole Whip. Best sit-down restaurant in the Animal Kingdom? Well, sit-down, though. I'm going to just make that best restaurant in the Animal Kingdom because it's very easy.
You don't have a good sit-down?
Yeah, like...
You were going to pick Rainforest, right?
Right, exactly. I mean, I need to go back to...
Honestly, I haven't done a lot of table service at Animal Kingdom.
I haven't either. Does Nomad count? Nomad live?
I almost always eat at...
Satuli?
Yeah, Satuli.
That's what I was going to say. It's like Satuli.
I was like, why would you want to eat anywhere else when you have Satuli?
Right. But let's see. You got Tiffin's, which of course is great food. I just, you have to be like in the mood for signature.
And isn't it Yak and Yeti that has both a sit-down and a quick service?
It does, yeah. I was about to say Yak and Yeti's another good one. I've not done the sit-down, though. I've only done the quick service. And I like it. I mean, it's good. Can't think of another restaurantosaurus. That's quick service.
Oh, sit-down. Oh, I guess I was thinking, because I wasn't thinking along the lines of, I guess this is technically a sit-down, but it's a buffet, is a Tusker House. Most definitely. I mean, It's not signature dining or anything, but it has what I want because it's got a decent variety. You can be a little safe or you can be a little adventurous, whichever you want.
And you got characters, so yeah, Tusker House is good. I actually forgot about the Tusker House. Yeah, that's a good one. If you were going to get one drink from Oga's Cantina, what would it be?
I have no idea.
I would go with I think it was Gold Leader or Gold Squadron Lager, whatever it was. Mm-hmm. That's the one I would pick. Don't go, again, if you haven't been there before, get the cocktails, try them out. Bespin Fizz, I think, was one of my favorites. What was Fuzzy Tauntaun, but they don't do that one anymore. But yeah, the beer to me is better than the drinks, personally.
Because you're not getting sugared up.
Right, because it's just juice, like tons of juice and a little alcohol, and they charge $20 for it.
Yeah.
Basically. So I'm like, the novelty is worn off. I'll put it that way.
Not trying to take advantage of anyone in there.
No, and 45-minute intervals.
I think the only thing I've had is the Rancor thing.
Bloody Rancor?
Yeah, the Bloody Rancor.
Yeah. Dagobah Slug Slinger, I think, is my wife's favorite. But again, these are all like super sweet drinks. Jet Juice is probably the strongest one. Gold Squadron Lager, yeah. That's the one I would get.
So is it like a lighter one or is it like an IPA?
It's a little lighter.
Okay.
All right. Spaceship Earth, day or nighttime ride. Doesn't matter. This was AI. Like, it's still the same inside. So
yeah, because it's always dark.
I guess, though, I would say nighttime because I'd rather do it on the way out than on the way in.
Yeah.
I'm not going to start my day with Spaceship
Well, the
Earth.
exterior looks better at nighttime, so.
Yeah, good point. I won't start my day there, but I would end my day there.
Yeah. The ride experience is not any different.
This is a weird one. Most overlooked attraction at Hollywood Studios.
Overlooked? I don't think they have one that's overlooked. All they do is e-tickets there.
Right.
If I had to pick one that's probably overlooked now, it's probably Star Tours.
Yeah, it could be. The one that came to my mind was Stunt Show. Because it doesn't say ride, it says attraction. So.
Oh, well, Stunt Show would be, yeah.
I think a lot of people still go see it, but it's still good. It's still fun. Like, it's still a good show.
Depends on what constitutes an attraction, because it could be Disney Junior. I mean,
is it the most overlooked, though?
It could be at this point.
Could be. That
area seems to be pretty dead most of the time when you walk through it. Animation Courtyard is not very animated.
No, it's literally dead. Except for you could go meet Star Wars characters there. That's about it. You can meet Chewie, BB-8, or Darth Vader.
And Mermaid's no longer there. It's down, right? That doesn't appear to be ever
Probably
opened again.
Yeah, hopefully not. Anyway. I guess you could say One Man's Dream can be an overlooked attraction. Not a lot of people go in there. Okay, here's one that you can answer. Cinderella's Royal Table or Be Our Guest. I've not done Cinderella's Royal Table yet.
If I were going to judge it based on the quality of food alone, I would pick Cinderella's Royal Table.
Yeah, I would think it would be better overall than Be Our Guest.
Be Our Guest is kind of cool, but it's a little bit underwhelming, really.
Yeah.
For what it was built up to be.
It was really cool the first few times we did it, especially when it was still like quick service lunch.
Yeah.
And you could get out of there for less than $100 for lunch.
Yeah.
But now you can't get one person. It's like $100 for lunch. Yeah. So, yeah, it's not worth it for a cool atmosphere.
See, the sad thing about that, I think when it first opened, there was a lot of people raving about it. But at the same time, it was like not long after that it got a reputation of being better for that quick service lunch than it did the actual dinner. And then they took the quick service lunch away. So, yeah. And really the best room to be in is the, what is it, like the dance hall or whatever you want to call it?
Yeah.
The biggest one. That's really the best room to be in because, you know, the one with the rows is just small and dark and dingy. I don't know.
Right. You can't even see what you're eating.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not even, it's very small. The section is
a small room, yeah.
It is very small. And then the other room is just like an homage to the two characters. It's nothing from the movie, really.
Nothing special, yeah. Yeah. It's the best table in that restaurant would be next to the window where it's snowing outside.
Yes.
There's like 2 or 3 tables, maybe 4. That's about the best you're going to get. Anyway.
Yep.
Is there a show you can't miss at any of the parks?
I've missed them all recently.
What's like the best show?
You know, the last one I think I stayed for was the Flights of Wonder one. The one that really, I don't even know what they call it now. It was still pretty good. This was in January of 2022 when I did when we did
good,
that.
Yeah. Does the fireworks count? Because I would say Happily Ever After's one. But
yeah, well, it's not really. I mean, I guess it's a show.
Kind of a show, a fireworks show.
Kind of a character of its own. It's a nighttime show. It's like you have to choose between Happily Ever After and whichever one Epcot is going to have.
Luminous, maybe.
Yeah,
we'll see.
And what does the studios have? What does the studios have currently? Oh,
Fantasmic. Yeah,
but they also have that projection show, right? They just
yeah, whatever. They also have Frozen.
Animal Kingdom
Sing Along.
Oh yeah, as far as a show, yeah, I like that one. I enjoy that one. Depends
Yeah.
on it's better depending on how good the two in-person characters are. That helps.
That's true. The hosts have to be good hosts. Yeah.
Yeah, that one, it's dependent upon that as to how good the show is.
We've answered this one before, but what ride has the best queue?
Flight of Passage, I think.
Really? I was going to say Everest or Kali River Rapids. Probably Everest. If you're doing the full queue, not
Kali, the full queue at Kali is really not,
I'd probably go with Everest.
I don't feel too immersed there.
Really? Once you get into like the...
You talking about Everest or Kali?
Kali. Once you kind of... the first part, once you get down into like where you're walking through those little buildings and that thing is really immersive. But I'd say overall, Everest is probably the best queue, I would think. Tower of Terror is pretty dang good too.
Well, yeah, there's not much of a queue there. Once you get inside, that's the good part.
Yeah,
that's very short
though. There,
it's very short, but that's the best part.
Smuggler's Run's not bad.
Yeah, Smuggler's Run has a lot you can look at. That's a good thing about that queue. Gosh, is there one probably the best theme one at Magic Kingdom is probably Pirates.
Yeah, Pirates is good. Yeah, I can't say Tron because even though it's got that one cool effect, that one room is like the worst.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. We already know the answer to this one. What each of us would say: preferred mode of transport, monorail, Skyliner, or boat, or bus.
Out of those, Skyliner to me.
Yeah, monorail for me, of course. I'm going to stick with the old tried and true.
Tried and true.
Monorail. Best spot for fireworks viewing. I assume they mean Magic Kingdom.
I think that's a matter of preference mostly. However,
I would have to say Hub is still probably the best, even though it's so dang crowded.
One of the best angles is over from near, like, Casey's, that area.
Yeah, it's a good angle. I would say if you have unlimited money, get a dessert party, and that's probably the best spot.
Yeah. But isn't there like that lawn in front of Casey's? Is it closed off during the fireworks? Is that part of the
Yeah, I can't recall if it's... Yeah, but I know the other side in front of...
Or is it like reserved for Fast Pass? or excuse me, Lightning Lane?
I don't think it's Lightning Lane, but it's... Yeah, I feel like they reserve those little areas for either dessert party or something like that. I know the other side is the viewing area for, like, if you're doing the fireworks dessert party thing in front of Plaza.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Must visit store on Main Street. There's only one. That's kind of weird. The confectionery, though, I would prefer that over Emporium, to be honest. I don't love the Emporium anymore.
Must visit store. Yeah, I was going to say,
Let's just say Magic Kingdom.
Or one long store.
Is there any store at Disney World that you like the best?
Me?
What's your go-to shopping?
I don't really have a preference. I don't really like shopping personally, but I think we tend to find ourselves in World of Disney a lot.
At Springs. I honestly prefer Hollywood Studios for shopping. I love the shops on the Hollywood Boulevard and Sunset.
Yeah.
I love those shops.
Hollywood.
Yeah. What's the one? Yeah. The Keystone Clothiers, however you say that, has the Indiana Jones stuff that I like. And it has the Marvel and Star Wars stuff. That's where I would go.
I don't really think of shopping when I think of Hollywood for whatever reason.
And I love the shops on Main Street as well. Not Main Street, Hollywood Boulevard. Like the Five and Dime.
Another go-to is in Epcot, the, what's it called now? Connections,
yeah. That's the one I do like it. It's better than the Emporium, but
yeah, it's big.
It's fine.
You have a lot of space. You can explore the space.
But as far as like the quality of merch or what they have, the selection, I still think Hollywood Studios has better stuff. I don't know. That's just me.
You like the more unique. And see, Hollywood Studios is probably more focused.
Yeah, that's probably why. Because Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Marvel, those are the things that either me or my kids want. And so you can find it all there.
Yeah.
So that's probably why. I mean, I think I already know the answer to this one. Expedition Everest or Rock and Roller Coaster?
Okay, I don't know why they give those two specifically, but Expedition Everest for me.
Yeah, I think I'd pick Everest too, honestly.
That's just weird. They would just group those two together.
Yeah, I don't know why either.
Yeah.
So it's almost like saying Tron or Guardians.
Yeah.
Guardians is way better.
Or if you just like said best coaster or rank the coasters.
I mean,
which I think we've done. So
yeah, I feel like AI has learned enough about our podcast to know these questions, like, because I already know the answer. Like,
is AI listening to us?
Yeah, the best lounge for unique drinks at Disney World. You know what I'm gonna say?
I know what you're gonna say. So La Cava it is, right?
Yeah, La Cava is still my favorite. They always have new stuff too, so it's fantastic. Nomad's also really good for unique stuff.
Have you ever done what's the one that's connected to Ohana? Tambu? Is that the one?
The Tambu Lounge?
Is that the name of it?
I've gotten a drink there once before dinner.
Okay.
It was fine.
Because you can get some of the food from Ohana there too.
Yeah, you can get some of the appetizers, can't you? I think
you can get dessert too. I think you can get the bread pudding.
The two best lounges to me are Nomad and La Cava. For unique drinks especially. That's what I would say. I mean, Oga's Canteen is unique, but they're just not that great. That's the thing.
Gotcha.
They're unique, though. It's a unique spot, too, though, so you gotta throw Oga's in there.
The Outer Rim.
No, Lord. That was like the most underwhelming place.
Really?
Yeah. Most underrated point of interest in any of the parks. Well, that's a tough one to answer quickly.
Most underrated what?
Point of interest.
Most underrated point of interest. I don't understand exactly. Point of interest?
Yeah, I'm not sure why it said point of interest. Most underrated spot. I would say my first thing that came to my mind was, well, in all of Walt Disney World would be that bathroom at...
So underrated bathroom.
Well,
I was trying to think, like, underrated for what?
Mine would be at Three Bridges, the bathroom. That thing is like a mansion.
So it's underrated.
Yeah, because it's gigantic. It's amazing.
Something that's
favorite bathroom.
underrated. Is that the way you put it? Underrated?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard for me to come up with.
Yeah, because it said point of interest. Like what?
I mean, because I can think of a few things that, in my opinion, are underrated. I personally think Coral Reef is underrated because I know it hasn't had the best of reviews.
Yeah. It's kept me from going there so far. But also all the festival food, you know.
Well, I mean, I've given you enough reason to go, I would hope.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things that haven't made the time to do it because we're usually eating everywhere else.
Right. I'm trying to think of what that really means. I don't quite get what that means. There's a lot of stuff that's underrated.
One of the most underrated points of interest are spots.
I mean, if you're just talking about like a spot to like chill out, maybe, I don't know.
Trader Sam's Tiki Terrace.
I love
underrated? Sitting outside. You get live music, and then the electric water pageant fires up. That's like one of my favorite Disney moments of all time is hearing that music in the background and knowing that I'm sitting at the Polynesian. Those are, you can't beat that.
I don't know. I'm having trouble thinking of something in particular that's maybe underrated. So
it's hard to say.
I tell you a restaurant that really gets a bad rap just because of its selection, maybe, but it's actually decent quality overall. I mean, it's not like the best pizza ever, but Pizza Fari, I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be.
I gotta try some.
Yeah.
Rate some pizza.
There you go. Because they're not really good at pizza in general. Disney isn't.
Oh, here's actually a good question. What's your go-to animal exhibit at Animal Kingdom?
So that doesn't include the safari, then I'm assuming.
Yeah, I would say walkthrough.
Of the two most common, I actually prefer the Gorilla Trail.
Gorilla Falls.
Uh-huh.
They're both really good.
They are.
I like, I guess I would go with Maharaja because I like seeing the tigers in particular.
Well, there's really only like a couple of tigers and only a couple of spots where you can see them. I just felt like gorillas were more unique. And the other animal, I think it was the other animals along the way. Like you see a hippo in its environment and things like that. See all these underground burrowing things inside one facility, right? So
I think Maharaja, though, has the birds, right? Am I remembering right? Or is that
Maharaja
the other
has
one?
some birds, so does, but they both have birds.
Do. Okay,
they
both
have
do.
birds. The things that stand out to me at Maharaja are the tigers, like you said, and the bats. The bats exhibit.
Yeah, those giant vampire bats. Yeah. Yeah. I like that setting, too, though, when you're near Kali and Everest, and that's a cool area to me.
For whatever reason, the Maharaja one just feels hotter. I can't explain it.
Well, could be. Maybe that's why they built Kali there, to cool off.
Yeah, maybe. You know that Kali was originally supposed to be like a ride through like animal exhibit with a section that's going to be like rough rapids.
Really?
It's supposed to be a boat ride.
Is that why it's so boring?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think the budget probably got cut. So
yeah, they left out a whole bunch of rapids and probably 3 or 4 more drops to make it exciting enough to.
After having ridden it the last couple of times, I actually, it's enjoyable. I enjoy it.
It's fine. It's just there's not much to it.
Right. There's not much to it.
It's just you go up a hill, you do some rapids, you go down a hill.
Yeah.
You're done.
The one drop is about the biggest thing of it all, right? So
yeah, and you'll get wet, guaranteed.
Yeah,
whether you get completely soaked or not.
Well, I think that's
a
a guarantee of all of those type of water rides. Any of those that are like that.
Best food at Galaxy's Edge, or best not food, but best food or beverage at Galaxy's Edge.
Best food or beverage.
I'd say. Personally, I think the breakfast Ronto wrap, yeah. I was going to say the breakfast one in particular is really good.
That's the only thing I can think of over there that's really all that great.
I like those overnight oats too at what do they call them? Anyway, it's like overnight oats at Ronto Roasters.
Docking Bay 7, there was some like roast thing that I got that was pretty good. Yep. It was all right.
Indeed.
I can't remember what they called it. I think they've changed the name of it since I ate it. Galaxy's Edge is not the place to go for food, really.
Yeah, I mean, it's unique, but it's not out of this world. Haha.
I know most people probably say neither at this point, but if you had to pick one between the green and the blue milk, which one are you picking?
I went back and forth, but I think the green one I like better.
I like the flavor of the green better.
Yeah, I think so.
I did.
Although they charge like $9 now for like a 4-ounce pour or something.
See, I noticed when we were there, like I actually had moments when I walked through there, like there would literally be nobody in line for the milk.
Yeah, several times I've done that too. I'm like, there's nobody
curious. Here. Yeah, I'm curious if they're ever going to like revamp the recipe or something, and or something,
or lower the price, God forbid. Yeah,
that one of those.
Because that's what they need to do is lower the dang price, but they're not going to.
Yeah, but I mean, there was nothing special. I think there was a uniqueness about those when it first opened because of the fact that you could get them, but this definitely died down since then.
Yeah.
It's gone. It's died down to almost nothing. They need to think of revamping that area, revamping that place. Revamping the drink itself, more or less.
Right.
Like you can have them, just like do a different recipe, right?
They're not great, so I think they could make.
I think they need to make them a little more natural. Is another thing they probably could do.
Yeah, could be.
There's
better.
a lot of crap. There's a lot of crap in those drinks.
Yeah, like not real food stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, here's one final question. Best land or area to explore.
For exploring?
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of good options. Galaxy's Edge is actually one of the first ones I thought of.
Yeah, that was the first one that came to my mind, too. I was like, yeah, Galaxy's Edge, probably.
But
There's a lot of detail there.
You can actually make an argument for Pandora as well.
You can make the argument, but it's hard. Like, you barely see it at night anymore. And that would be where I'd want to explore is at night.
There's just really not a lot there also to truly explore.
Yeah.
There's two attractions.
You can see a lot, but there's not.
Yeah.
Galaxy's Edge has a lot of hidden details that,
and there are some
fun to find.
There's some like play areas where you can beat on drums.
In Galaxy's Edge?
No, I was talking about in Pandora.
Oh, Pandora.
Galaxy's Edge has a lot of interactivity with the app, so it's...
I just think Animal Kingdom in general is a great park to explore. There's tons of areas you can just walk around and look at stuff. The theming is incredible.
Speaking of Star Wars, we're rapidly approaching the last Star Cruiser, aren't we?
Oh, yeah. Like, it's already happened by the time you're listening to this.
Yeah.
So I'm
was
sure
it the end of, because it was the end of September, was it not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was, I think, the 28th, 29th was the final one.
Yeah.
It's all over before October 1st. I know that. So, yeah, I'm surprised we haven't heard more about that. I guess we will after the fact.
There's been a lot of things dominating the headlines.
Yeah.
Just kind of taken away from it.
I guess.
I wonder if any of the vloggers are going on the last voyage.
I'm sure there are. They booked that up as soon as they could. It's September 28th through the 30th, so the 30th is the last day, yeah.
The only thing I think that it might have been difficult for one of them to get onto is because they had so many spots to fill by people, all the ones that were being canceled.
Yeah.
So they had a ton of spots to fill there.
Right, because people were able to rebook.
Right, from the ones they had done for the future.
So, to wrap up this episode with the first question we talked about, the Star Cruiser, now that you're listening to this after September 30th, that's something I wish I could have done that I can't ever do anymore.
Right, there you go. Say that you could at least did it. I just wish they would have worked it differently.
Yeah.
I think the price point for what you got was a little expensive, but that's true with everything, it seems like right now.
Yeah,
so
it was not sustainable at that high of a price because you can't get that many people to keep churning in and out of there for like an every day of the year thing.
Right.
It's just, that was too high. If the price was half of what it was, then the operating costs may not have made sense, but you would have been booked solid for like 5 straight years if they had cut the price in half. So
probably.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to book one until 2027 or something.
They also probably didn't feel like they could cut it that much.
Right. Operate, there's a lot of costs for personnel, I imagine.
Yeah, but it's also a big ask for, the consumer.
Yeah, that's what they underestimated, I guess.
Yeah.
Your faith in your friends is yours.
I mean, the concept in and of itself, it probably would have done better if it had not been original in this case. Like when it comes to Star Wars, people want to see the people that they know. They don't want to see some new adventure or something.
Yeah, adventure.
They want what they know.
Huh.
Yeah.
A Jedi craves not these things. Yeah.
But they want what they know when it comes to this. I mean, that's the main thing.
That's the other thing too. They underestimated the fact that we wanted to see Kylo Ren and Rey like square off. Like we want to see either the prequels or the original Star Wars.
I wonder what they're going to end up doing with that really cool lightsaber that like totally
that opens and retracts by itself. Yeah,
they're going to integrate it into the park somehow.
Yeah. Now, what they could do is have that show go to Galaxy's Edge and just have, how they
have it happen periodically.
Yeah, like just do it in the upper area.
Yeah, kind of like the old Wild West stunt show.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Exactly. Same thing.
That was fun.
Yeah. That would be fun. Anyway. All right. Let's wrap this up so we can...
Sure. So if you would like to find us, you can find us on Facebook, X, and Instagram. That is all at TWTM Podcast. We have a Spreadshirt store in which you can buy your exclusive TWTM merchandise. That is shop.spreadshirt.com/TWTM Podcast. We have a YouTube channel in which we have a few clips and of our on-ride videos and some older stuff as well. You can find that by searching for at TWTM. And where else, Adam?
Our website, travelingwiththemouse.com. You can email us podcast@travelingwiththemouse.com. And we have a travel agent friend if you want to book your next Disney trip. You can find her info on our website, travelingwiththemouse.com. For John, my name is Adam, and this has been Traveling with the Mouse, and we hope you will join us on our next trip.